let's do the rest of this. Oh, and raffles. You're right. A raffle has been started as we get the rest of our RTSs done for the evening, everybody. Thank you so much for being here, by the way. I'm also going to do this as well. We're going to give everybody in the channel 1,000 caps just because I like you all right? As we begin our final RTS of the evening, we'll get through games number 6. We will not be able to watch the other 2 baseball games, which would have been... what again now? We were looking to watch the Giants and Cluckers and the Frogs and the Mythics. We will instead go ahead and just watch those in our RTS. Giants and Cluckers, that's going to be Tim Gross up against the Giants' #1 starting pitcher. Oh, and the bet. Thank you, guys. Pioneers take down the Reapers. Final score 5-2. People who put in for the Pioneers cashing out like mad, ladies and gentlemen. Which means my caps are, what, almost gone now? 20,000 caps remain for AZAxle. Yeah, it's going to be a rough way to get all of that back, unfortunately. All right, folks. We're going to RTS the rest of the evening. So far, Abendot has the #1 score, although I would have said that Ashley Weber might have a little bit more of a score than him, but that's just me. You guys should also be able to do ! box scores. Game? We haven't saved yet. So you guys don't see this, but the game is stalling. Okay, good. Hold on. I have to finish. Oh, gosh. Okay, all right. That was kind of scary. I think it was just setting up the RTS box scores, and it froze. And I started freaking out because we just did a game. But I think we're fine. You guys should be able to do ! box scores and be able to watch that in the background now. All right. Danny Smith and Mike Schmidt have hit solo homers for the Giants and Cluckers. That game is tied up 1-1 as they go to the top of the 3rd. Otherwise, no scores across the rest of the ball games, as we're going to go ahead and let these just play out for the rest of the day. And as always, guys, you can use that box scores link that Joker just had put into the channel. And you can also simply just watch the Discord, actually. Your favorite team will give updates on how their games are going in the Discord for the BYP. And you will be able to enjoy that as well. Dante Robinson has given the Cluckers a 2-1 lead, make that 3-1 as Paul Wiesen has grounded out, scoring in Robinson, and it's now officially 3-1 in favor of the Cluckers as we go to the top of the 4th over there. The Armadillos and Goats are still scoreless as they head to the bottom of the 4th. It's been a interesting ball game over there, basically. We'll have to see if anything else happens in regards to that ball game. It looks like, let's see if we can find out any more of these games. Nope, still just the 2 ball games. Bottom of the 4th, we go for both of these ball clubs at this point. You guys can continue to enter into the raffle if you're not already in the raffle. ! Join if you'd like to be able to do that. And I do believe we are officially back from our ad break. I think we're officially back from the ad break now. Either that or we're starting a 3-minute ad break. I don't know which is, unfortunately. And I think we are still... yeah, it's having some problems submitting the RTS report for some reason. I don't know why, but it's not making me very happy about how slow the RTS report has to be. I don't like that. Hold on one second, folks. It is just kind of freezing on me, basically. The game, not the stream. I might turn that off. Oh gosh, lots of stuff happened. Wait, what on earth? Okay, hold on. This is being deactivated. I can't have that. We cannot have it freeze like that for 20 seconds while it tries to figure out what's going on there. All right, we're going to turn that off for now. Raquel Colon, Mike Schmidt have combined for 4 runs in the top of the 6th inning And the Giants now have a 5-3 lead over the Cluckers. The Armadillos get another run. They get 2 runs, my apologies, from Baseball Ball hitting a solo homer and Jose Miranda hitting a solo home run. They now lead 2-0 over the Goats. And we're going to disable the box scores and just try to make this go naturally as is. Alrighty. Top of the 6th for both of our ball games at this point. The Goats are trying to get on the board, and they will probably not be able to do so, unfortunately. All right, other games are getting underway. The Queens and Rockets, and then the Whistlers and the Ducks are getting their games underway. Celia Nelson doubles home Miranda, and the Armadillos now lead 3-0 over the Goats. It was going well for Tim Gross until he ran into the top of the 6th. His evening is over. And we'll have to see how that goes down the road. Barbara Jones has hit a whole solo homer for the Rockets. They now lead over the Queens 1-0. And Doran Elmer finally hits his 3rd home run of the regular season. The Ducks now lead against the Whistlers 2-0. Evan Screwball has singled home unlucky. The Queens have tied it up. 1-1 is the score over there. And my apologies as well. We are in an ad break right now, but we are going to keep going because I would like to end before 10:30 if possible. We're going to continue on. Roger Lemons. Roger Lemons is having a very good, interesting game over there. The Giants leave the base, or had the bases loaded, no outs, and they are unable to score. And we'll head to the top of the 8th. Roger Lemons has got a no-hitter. And, of course, the minute I mention it, literally the second that I mention he has a no-hitter, he gives up his first hit of the day, and he is replaced with Sunny Day. Jinxed it just a little bit too soon. Slambino hits home run number 2 of the regular season, and the Queens now lead over the Rockets 2-1. I did jinx it, unfortunately. Ugh. Our raffle winners are Joker, Barry Basher, and Hollywood TY24. Congratulations, you all have won 1,666 caps. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Mr. Audit. But yes, the jinx did come through. 2-run homer for Gerald Freeman has given the Giants a 7-3 lead in the top of the 9th. They are looking to take down the Cluckers. Man, the Cluckers have just been... There's just... I don't know. I'm so sorry, Tim Gross. I don't understand. Like, the offense just hasn't been there. The pitching isn't coming through. Nothing is working out well for the Cluckers right now. We're into the bottom of the 8th. The Armadillos have got a little bit of a lead here. They've got their 3-0 lead over the Goats. And we're into the top of the 9th, sorry, bottom of the 9th now for the Cluckers. Their final opportunity here against the Giants. And they're going to be up against Todd Xavier. They do get a Wisen single, which means they will have some opportunities with Vladimir Guerrero. Danny Smith has singled. They've got runners on 1st and 3rd, but Crash Davis flies out. And the final hope is Twishman, and he is retired. So they have some hits, but they don't get the runs they need. And the Cluckers fall to the Giants 7-3. Babe Ruth hits a 2-run homer in the top of the 9th, but that's all the Goats get. They will fall 3-2 as the Armadillos pick up a win against a otherwise spluttering Goats team. So it's been interesting. The Goats are 2-5. The Cluckers are now 1-6. The Coyotes, I mean, there's just a lot of teams who are on some pretty bad losing streaks, unfortunately. It is not going well for certain organizations. There will have to be some reviews very, very soon. Alrighty. Into the 4th innings we go for the Queens and Rockets and the Whistlers and the Ducks. And by the way, if you're on the box scores page, we will not be updating the box scores page. It was causing the game some problems, so we are gonna negate that until this simulation is done. Butts Carlton hits a solo homer for the Whistlers. They are now down by 1. And Mike Trout finally, I think, has hit his 2nd homer of the regular season, and the Coyotes lead 1-0 over the Bears. Hey, there we go. Wade Beers hits home run number 3 of the regular season. He gives the Bats a 2-0 lead. That's not an internet technical issue there, I rock this. No, 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 no. Don't be stretching stuff like that. Mike Piazza doubles home, boom, boom, McBroom, and it's going to be a 3-run ball game, and the Bats now lead over the Owls 3-0. Evan Longoria has hit a solo homer. That's going to be number 3 on the season for Longoria. I never said it was an internet issue. That's true, but I've only given away caps for internet problems, and I have already given away 1,000 caps just because I said I liked you all right? That should count. The Trains and Roman a Day have given themselves a 1-0 lead. The Owls get a double from Crescent Roll, and they now have a run against the Bats. It's now 3-1 over there, and then a 2 RBI single by Jim Mulroney has given the Bears a 2-1 lead. Bases are loaded for the Rockets, and they get a single by Ken Griffey Jr., but Tony Del Vecchio strikes out swinging. It'll only be a tie ball game. So we have 2 games going into the 6th innings, tied up at 2, and a couple games in the 1st inning and 1 going into the 2nd. The Owls pick up a 2nd run on a Jackie Wells double. What's the Jinx payout? The Jinx payout is laughter. Good grief. That's all you guys get for the Jinx payout. Regardless, into the 7th inning we go for the Whistlers and Ducks. They're tied up at 2. Bottom of the 6th for the Queens and Rockets. They're tied up at 2. And the Coyotes and Bears are now tied up at 2. Never mind, check that. Bruce Springsteen gives the Coyotes a 3-2 lead. Kaufman scores. And it's now 3-2 in favor of the Coyotes in that matchup over there. There we go. Boom, 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 McBroom hits solo homer. Homer number 4 of the regular season for Boom, Boom, McBroom. And it's now 4-2 in favor of the Bats. I love doing that. Robin Yount has doubled home a run for the Whistlers. They take a 3-2 lead over the Ducks in the top of the 8th. And Roman a Day has hit homer number 3 of the regular season. He's batting .458 now. Okay, I take back everything I said about Roman a Day. He's having a phenomenal season. Keep going, man. Trains now lead 3-0 against the Nobles, a battle of the orange squads over about there. Or is that the gold squads? I think it's gold squads, technically. Regardless. And I'm sorry I rocked this, but that box score is not going to work. If you want to see where it left off, I think it won't be updating anymore now. But it won't work anymore now. Barbara Jones singles home a run for the Rockets. They take a 2-3 lead over the Queens. Kaz Cappy did give up that 3rd run and was able to finish the 7th inning. So we'll see about that down the road. Faye Dawson hits home run number 3 of the regular season. The Coyotes now lead against the Bears 6-2. Whistlers now lead 4-2 after an error, I believe, from the Ducks has given them a 2-run lead. And Hammer Longballo has hit home run number 4 for the Bats. Man, that team is going to be tough. 5-2 is the score over there. And then the, let me see, I wanted to say, Queens trying to get the tying run across here in the top of the 8th. We'll see if they can do it against Jovan, or is it Jovan, I believe. I don't remember now, unfortunately. They've got runners in the corners, runner on 2nd and 3rd, 1 down. Bert Handsome singles home both of the runners. Nice. Sailor Pottles hit a sacrifice fly for the Coyotes. They now lead 7-2. And then again, the Bert Handsome single scoring in 2 runs has given the Queens a 4-3 lead in the top of the 8th. Bert Handsome steals 2nd. Unlucky strikes out swinging. And Screwball is also striking out swinging to end the inning. Bottom of the 8th we go. And immediately, Kaz Cappy, you just can't help yourself, can you? Tony Del Vecchio hits a solo homer to tie the ball game in the bottom of the 8th. That's home run number 4 of the season for Tony D. And Vec has given the Rocket the tie ball game. Hughes on first has given the Frogs a 1-run lead in the top of the 1st of a solo homer, his 5th of the regular season. And the Frogs and Naomi Murray will have a 1-0 lead as they head to the bottom of the 1st. Top of the 9th we go. Whistlers still up 4-2. They've got the lead. Yep, Kaz no decision Cappy once again taken out in the bottom of the 8th, and Lisbeth has to close out the side. They will get the inning closed down. Wait, did Lisbeth give up the hit? Wait, did they not let Kaz Cappy continue? They didn't. Okay, so that was all Lisbeth Cappy. Okay, so the Lisbeth gives up the solo homer, And that's a bit of a shame, unfortunately. But at least it wasn't Kaz Cappy this time around. Dean Danger hit a sacrifice fly, scoring in Tony Gwynn. The Nobles get their first run of the ball game. They're still down by 2. And Jody Weed has tied up the ball game between the Frogs and the Mythics, as they are now tied up at 1. Stephanie Morgan hits a solo homer, her second of the regular season, against the Warlocks, and it's now 1-0 in favor of the Cacti. We're in the bottom of the 9th. Tying runners at the plate for the Ducks, but they are down to their final out against the Whistlers, and it's not looking good for what should have been one of the better offenses of the game, and the Ducks fall 4-2 in regular time. All right, Queens have got a runner on second base, 1 down. They need a run to get the lead. Felix Grant flies out. Mortabito is going to line out to end the inning, and we will be going to the bottom of the 9th. Lisbeth Cappy needs to retire the side. 1 down. 2 down, 3 down. Okay, we go to extras. Queens and Rockets are going to go to extra innings at least. It's an opportunity here now for the Queens to be able to get the lead once again in the top of the 10th. So, it hasn't been terrible, but it hasn't been good. 4 runs on 9 hits is not exactly a great way to be able to play a ball game. They've left on base 6 runners, and they've had 1 caught stealing, but tons of stolen bases. Good grief. The Queens have got to score a run here on the top of the 10th to be able to at least give the Rockets a little bit of pressure. By the way, Elijah Knock for the Bats has struck out 9 batters through 5 innings of work. Well done, Elijah. Top of the 10th we go. Slambino grounds out, sends the runner to third base. Honus Wagner singles home Mortabito. It will be the 5th run of the game for the Queens. Honus Wagner steals third. They've got runners on first and third now, 1 down. The Owls have had a solo homer from Eric Kelly. Third of the season for Eric Kelly. And that has given the Owls now only a 2-run deficit in the bottom of the 6th. And then Rupert Cordwangle has grounded out, scoring in for us for the Cacti. They now lead 2-0 against the Warlocks. Bert Handsome is caught stealing second? So they both did a... No, what happened? What happened to the runners? Honus Wagner steals third. Handsome's caught stealing second. What happened to Honus Wagner? Strikes out. Was that the second out of the game, of the inning? Oh, that was. And then they got caught stealing second with Wagner at third. Second caught stealing for Bert Handsome. Might have to do a strategy change on Handsome. He's going to get an earful after the game for that one, unfortunately. We'll go to the bottom of the 10th. Lisbeth Cappy needs to retire Ken Griffey Jr. and Tony Del Vecchio with the tying run on second. That is a tall order. That is a very tall order. Elijah Knock has struck out 11 batters in 6 innings of work. Oh boy, it's going to be tough. So, if you're Lisbeth Cappy, do you just intentionally walk Ken Griffey Jr. just to not even face him? Is that the goal here? Let's see what they do. Ken Griffey Jr. up against Lisbeth Cappy. 2-0 pitch, 3-0 pitch. They're probably just going to pseudo-walk him, and they did. They're going to basically pseudo-walk him at this point. It'll be all down to Tony Del Vecchio. Runners on first and second. He will ground into a fielder's choice. Runners on the corners. 1 down. Axelrod needs to drive home a run to tie it, and he will pop out. It'll be all down to Pamela Kirkos. Kirkos, final opportunity here against the Queens. Can the Queens pull through with the win? Can they get a win for once? Can they do it? And the answer is yes. The Queens get a win against the Rockets. A very good ball club right now. The Queens go to 2-4. They take a loss to they give a loss to the Rockets, who now fall to 4-2-1 on the regular season, and the Queens are now 2-4-1 on the regular season, if my memory is correct. Where are you? There you are. There. I'm just missing out on you now. good win for the Queens and a little bit of a rough loss for the Rockets. Well done. All right, well, the Cappies are at least able to shake off the rust a little bit. They give up 4 runs, all earned, 10 strikeouts. They do have a little bit of a problem with the caught stealings, but you do appreciate the chance of being able to at least attempt to keep the other team honest. And with Torb Jorbson's not exactly great arm, it's not terrible. All right, the Frogs have taken a lead in their ball game in the top of the third. Hughes on first, grounded out. Louis scored. Going back up to the top of the list, though, bottom of the 7th between the Owls and the Bats. Ernie Banks has hit a solo homer for the Bears. They're now down 7-3 in the bottom of the 5th. And Roman Aday sac flies in Maria Luna. And the Trains now lead 4-1 against the Nobles. Man, the Nobles have started to kind of fall apart here in the early part of the season, it feels like. They're just not as dominant anymore. Mike Piazza has singled home Wade Beers. He's having a fantastic season, by the way. Hammer Longballow singles home McBroom, and the Bats will leave the bases loaded. Bases loaded are left behind by the Bats, but they'll have a 7-3 lead as they go to the bottom of the 8th. The Trains get another run on a Vladimir Womack single, scoring in Bryce Utley. Wasarsis has singled in Kaufman for the Coyotes. They now lead 10-3 against the Bears, who have 4 errors on the ball game. Tieran McKenzie has done 3 of them. Wow. Not a good game for the Bears defense so far, and it's getting worse and worse. Ichiro Suzuki Jr. has tripled home Crittenden. The Frogs now lead 3-1 against the Mythics. We'll go ahead and let the games continue on. Andrew Page has singled home Felgate. The Trains now lead 6-1 against the Nobles. 6-1 is the score over there. We'll head to the 9th inning between the Bats and the Owls. Chris Moses has hit a solo homer for the Mythics. They're now down 3-2 against the Frogs. Wade Beers is hit by a pitch. McBroom singles. Piazza, chance to do something big here if the base is loaded. He will ground to a fielder's choice at home, and Jose Payne will strike out swinging. Roland McPoley hits a solo homer off of, I believe, Hellerman. No, not Hellerman. That was somebody else. But the Trains now lead 7-1 in the top of the 9th. Stan Musial doubles home Pokey, and the Cacti now lead against the Warlocks 3-0. 2 games in the final stages of their situations. Owls down to their final 3 outs. And the Nobles are about to become down to their final 3 outs as well. Heather Quinn has hit a solo homer, her second of the regular season. And the Owls are not going to go quietly, at least. They've put it within save situation. But that's all it's going to be. Knock gets the win. Kawaguchi gets the loss. 7-4 is the final score. And that's going to be all she wrote for the Bats and Owls. The Trains have added on another run. Adam Van Doren doubles home Felgate. And it's now 8-1 in favor of the Trains over the Nobles. In regards of favoring as well, look at the score between the Coyotes and the Bears. 12-4 is the score between the Coyotes and the Bears. Bottom of the Trains batting order did great tonight. Yeah, they've been fantastic. They've gotten, I mean, technically a lot of it has been Roman Aday, but you still have 4 walks for Felgate, scored twice. You get a lot of strikeouts from Van Doren, but he has had the 1 good hit. Womack's had an RBI, and that just brings it all the way back around to Page, Luna, Aday, and McPoley, and that's just what you want to see. You want to see them getting opportunities like that all the time. Bob Salto Machiavellini grounds out, scoring a run in the bottom of the 7th, but that's going to be all they can get from that situation. The Trains take down the Nobles. Trains take down the Nobles with the big win for them. They move to 3-4. Nobles fall to 3-4, and it's going to be tough for the Nobles now. I think they're on like a, I think they've won 1 game in their last 4 matchups. Or is it 5 matchups? I think they're 1-4, I think, in their last 5 games. It's not going well. The Frogs have gotten another run from Ichiro Suzuki Jr. singling home, so another RBI for him, basically. And that's going to be Danny Espinoza scoring. The Frogs now lead 4-2 in the top of the 6th. And we're going to go ahead and keep going on with all the rest of our ball games. We're down to our final 5 games of the evening. We're into the top of the ninth. The Coyotes lead against the Bears 12-4. Against the Bears, 4 errors on the evening that has resulted in only 2 unearned runs, surprisingly. Chuck Norris has singled home Luann Louie, and that gives the Frogs a 5-2 lead over the Mythics. That is actually a really big insurance run for the Frogs. They actually really do need that. That is going to be all she wrote, though. Bears are down to their final 3 outs. They have the bases loaded, though, for Salto Machiavellini, who lines into a double play, does not score the run, and the Coyotes will take down the Bears. Bob Feller gets the loss. Del Vecchio gets the win. Coyotes win 12-4. Bottom of the 8th for the Cacti. They've got the bases loaded. Joel Schwoll, by the way, hit a sacrifice fly, scoring in Moses, and the Mythics are now down by 2 against the Frogs. And the Admirals and Ninjas just started up their ball game. Admirals already in the lead on a Stuart Sullivan single, scoring in McDonald. The Cacti have gotten 2 runs on an XO for a single, scoring in Thomas and Utley. They now lead 5-0 against the Warlocks. 5-0 is the game over there. 5-3 is the game between the Frogs and the Mythics. And then 1-0 between the... never mind. The Warlocks and Cacti have finished up their ball game. That went really fast. Marquardt out-duels Koufax. 5-0 is the final score. Warlocks are shut out. Wow. Giancarlo Stanton has hit a 2-run homer off of Finley Murray. And that has given the Mythics a tie ball game between them and the Frogs. 5-5 is the score as they are in the bottom of the 8th. So still some struggles for the bullpens of a lot of these organizations. Willie Mays ties up the ball game between the Ninjas and the Admirals. They're now tied 1-1 as Mays hits his 2nd home run of the regular season. Chance here for, let's see if the Frogs can get anything in the top of the 9th. They are not going to be able to. It'll go to the bottom of the 9th. Mythic chance to walk off here in the bottom of the 9th as Marina Peck has hit a ground out into a fielder's choice, scoring in Fernandez. Ninjas get the 2nd run of their game. And then Marilyn McDonald hit a 2-run homer, giving the Admirals the lead again. They now lead 3-2. The Frogs are looking to make the game go to overtime. Extra innings? And the answer is yes. Frogs and Mythics are going to go to extras. Chance for both squads to be able to keep going, although I think Finley Murray's going to be done by now. He's gone already 3 innings, I believe. He should not be able to go more than that. Now, he's had 2 innings. My apologies, 2 innings. But he's already thrown 39 pitches. I don't think you want to throw him any more than that. Alrighty, top of the 10th we go. The Frogs are not going to have the best part of their lineup here, unfortunately. They're going to intentionally walk Espinoza. Crittenden is going to single home Padilla. All right, well, their Frogs are at least going to get 1 run. Cal Ripken Jr. has hit a solo homer for the Captains. They now lead 1-0 over the Kings. Frogs, Ichiro Suzuki Jr. A single. All right, the Frogs have gotten 2 more runs on a single for Ichiro Suzuki Jr. He has been the player of the day for them. He has 4 for 5, a triple, 3 singles, and 4 RBIs. And we'll go to the bottom of the 10th. The score is 8-5. Ground out, gets the first out of the inning. Finley Murray trying to get out of the game here. Sacrifice fly scores in Frazier, but that's all they're going to get, and that will be the ball game. Frogs take down the Mythics. 8-6 is the final score. It's a comeback victory for the Frogs. They probably should have had that one in the bag a long time ago, but they will retire the side, get the win, and they retire the Mythics. The Frogs are, I believe, the 2nd team, 3rd team to get to 6 wins on the regular season. Whistlers, Bats, and Frogs all advance to being 6-1 on the regular season. It'll only be a matter of time before they face each other, though, and they'll start to have some problems. Hitty Ball has hit a 2-run homer, his 4th of the regular season for the Ninjas, and they now have taken command of that game. 4-3 is the score over there as they are into the bottom of the 5th. All right, final opportunities for games. Our final 2 games of the day, and the Admirals are going to get the lead. Marilyn McDonald and Fritz von Hastig have both singled, scoring in 3 runs combined. and it's now 6-4 in favor of the home squad. The Admirals take the lead. Otherwise, Kings and Captains still 1-0 as they go to the top of the 4th. And we go to the bottom of the 6th. Ty Cobb's on 2nd, and Pete Wheeler hits his 5th homer of the regular season. And, wow, the Admirals now have a commanding 8-4 lead. That is something else. I was not expecting Pete Wheeler to hit lots of homers this season. Top of the 7th, Ninjas trying to keep themselves alive in this ball game, but they are just struggling against the Admirals, who are just getting all over their pitching staff. Top of the 8th we go between that team and that ball game. Bottom of the 5th we go. Top of the 6th we go now for the Captains and Kings. They're just blowing through their ball game. That game is going super quick. Bottom of the 8th, Admirals are going to tack on 2 more runs on another 2-run homer by Pete Wheeler. Number 6 of the season for Pete Wheeler. He now ties Giancarlo Stanton and Jody Weed for the most home runs in the regular season to date. That is not who I expected to be at the top of the home run list. Dmitry Petrovic has hit a solo homer, and the Admirals now lead 11-4. And then a double by Felix Martinez has given the Kings a 2-1 lead over the Captains. Make that 4-1 as Ricardo Coba hits a 2-run homer. Kings now lead over the Captains 4-1. And our final ball games are wrapping up here. Top of the 9th between the Ninjas and the Admirals. Final opportunities here for the Ninjas. They are retired. And the final score will be 11-4 in favor of the Admirals. Christian Mims singles home Captain Kegleg. The Captains do get a run back, but they are still down by 2 as they are about to head into the top of the 8th. Silverhand's had a pretty good day. He is done, though. Hasselhoff comes in for the save. It'll be a 2-inning save. They've got a runner on first base, and Cutie Pie up to bat, and he will walk, and Cowpkins Jr. will have a chance, but he strikes out swinging. That would have been it there for the Captains. That would have been it. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Crittenden trying to keep the Kings from getting any more runs, but a double by Vicky Kawaguchi scores McBaron, and that will give the Kings a 3-run lead here in the bottom of the 8th. And they'll go to the final inning. Captains down to their final 3 outs. They need 3 runs against the Kings. They've got a runner on first base, but they've got 2 down, and that will retire the side. Captains fall to the Kings 5-2. Your final scores are now officially done. We have 2 ball clubs in the 5 wins category for the Sunny Day League, and 3 ball clubs in the 6 wins category for the Neos Arc League. Pioneers and Cacti. I did not expect the Cacti to be this good. I mean, we thought they'd be pretty good, but, I mean, that's true. Musial, Morgan, Thomas, and Phillips and Utley is a pretty good combination. That offense is going to be impressive. All you need is enough from the pitching staff. It's going to be pretty good. So I guess 5-2 is to be expected. Pioneers, they are riding high on Benjamin Abenduct and his 4 straight immediate wins. If he keeps that going, they're at least going to win 22 ball games. The Rockets fall for the first time in a while. They're starting to show some cracks in the armor. But the High Kings are 4-2-1. That's not bad either. This division, except for the Ninjas, are looking very close. Although the Ninjas are also not that bad. When is the Bats and Frogs? That is a good question. The next time the Bats and Frogs are going to be squaring off is going to be Frogs and Ducks. This is not the way to do this, but I want to kind of see it as we go along. There it will be. All right, so in 3 ball games, no, 2 ball games? Is it 2 or 3 ball games? Hold on. It will be a little bit of time before we get the Bats and the Frogs. They just did that ball game right about there. Actually, I don't think this will be Murray versus the ace of the bats. I don't think it'll be Nock versus Murray. That's gonna be, yeah, that's gonna be no, actually it's gonna be Wednesday night, because we're gonna do Bears and Ducks. We're gonna do the Thursday and the Monday game on Monday night, and then Wednesday would be Frogs versus the Bats. We might watch that one, depending upon how the teams are doing. We might end up watching that game right about there, but it won't be Murray. It'll be Finster. Finster versus Nancy Chin is going to be that matchup. So still wouldn't be too bad. Yeah. It'll be Finley Finster. Exactly. So you might watch that one. And then I am interested the next time. Yeah, it'll be here. So the next time Murray plays against the Bats will be against that one. And that'll be Elijah Nock versus Naomi Murray on the 22nd of June. Since they've already... No, they haven't squared off yet at all. So there will be 2 ball games. One more in August. No, one more in September. By the end of the regular season, the Bats and Frogs will square off one more time to be able to do that. Yeah, Finley Finster's ERA is okay. It's okay. It's going down, but it's okay. It's okay. But regardless, folks, that's going to be it for the stream. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the ball games we saw. Excuse me, that we saw here live on the channel. There are some teams that are struggling. The Cluckers, I'm sorry, you guys are kind of getting into a little bit of a position of a league of your own. 1 for 6 on the season. It started off so well, and it's just not going very well since then. They are going to have to make some changes, but we'll see how that goes down the road. Otherwise, some pretty good performances from the Frogs, Bats, Whistlers, Pioneers, and Cacti. They are the front runners of the league so far. They've been having very good seasons. Not a whole lot of surprises from the Frogs and Bats. The Whistlers are a little bit of a surprise, but that's mostly Randy Johnson flexing his muscles and giving them 4 straight wins. So we'll have to see if Randy Johnson can keep that going as they get into tougher and tougher competition. He has only played against the Owls, Coyotes, Mythics, and Ducks. He hasn't played against the Bats. So we are going to be looking forward to him against the Giants, him against the Cluckers. That'll be a fun run out there, too. That'll be Tim Gross versus Randy Johnson. So that's going to be interesting. Otherwise, Naomi Murray versus Randy Johnson will be the 1st of June. And then Elijah Nock versus Randy Johnson, that's going to be the Bats. So it'll be Wade Beers versus Randy Johnson will be the matchup here on the 15th of June. So some big games coming up down the road. I hope you guys will be excited about all of that. I'm sorry about not giving you guys the ad break times, but unfortunately, my eye's starting to act up a little bit again. So it needs drops and it needs sleep. So that's going to be it for the night, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. I will update the stats plus. You guys can be able to go and enjoy that at your leisure over the week at this point. And I will see you all, hopefully, on Monday. On Monday, we will be doing some more RTSs. We'll get through 2 more games, and we'll be able to see how teams are doing as we move closer and closer to the end, or at least to the halfway point. What if you accidentally leave the stream going so we can get drops? Is there nobody on anymore for drops right now? Hold on. Am I the only... I mean, yeah, I probably am the only person doing OTP right now, because, yeah, it's probably just me. No. You guys can go ahead out to Ripley the Oriole. He's doing some drops right now. If you want drops, you can still go and get them. Ripley will be probably going live for about another probably hour or so. You guys can still finish up your drops if you want to be able to do that. If you want to be able to do that, that's fine. Otherwise, though, have a great night, everybody. I will see you all very, very soon. Take care, everyone.